Hey everyone, welcome to Turkish series stars. Settle in, because we're diving into everything people are whispering about, and we'll walk through it step by step. Don't forget to subscribe and share if you want to keep up with every twist and turn. The celebrity world rang in the new year with a jolt, waking up to a fresh wave of rumors about Cenk Torun and Mahassine Merabet, the pair many have long admired as a picture of poise and devotion. Overnight, social media filled with posts speculating that things weren't quite as seamless as they once seemed. The chatter painted a picture of conversations behind closed doors, of little disagreements becoming larger than life under the spotlight. The central claim, repeated again and again, was that Cenk had confided to close friends about a rough patch, chalking it up to differences in how they each envisioned the future. The part that really set tongues wagging was the angle no one could resist. Talk that their views about children were not aligned, and that this disagreement had shaken them more than expected. As the online frenzy grew, fans split into two camps. One side dismissed the rumors, calling them the same old tabloid noise that swells and fades with the tide. The other side looked at how rarely the couple had been seen together recently, especially around the New Year festivities, and wondered whether the distance was more than just a trick of timing. They were photographed separately at different gatherings, greeting different circles, and that visual cue, two stars shining apart, gave the rumor mill exactly what it needed to keep churning. People in Cenk's orbit, who understand how intensely he guards his private life, say he's deeply uncomfortable being pulled into the kind of conversation that reduces a marriage to headlines and hashtags. Those same voices insist that the disagreements being whispered about are the kind that can appear in any relationship, ordinary in substance, extraordinary only because they belong to a couple everyone knows. They underline that the picture being painted online doesn't match the reality inside the relationship, and that claims stitched together from stray sentences are being amplified as if they were confessions on the record. If anything, they say, Cenk is weary of seeing his name attached to interpretations that turn doubts into declarations. As for Mahassine, she has kept her calm in public, preferring not to trade statements for sound bites. But friends say the situation weighs on her. She has always drawn a firm line between her life and the spotlight, and the idea that her personal choices might become raw material for public debate is a boundary she never wanted to cross. According to those who know her best, she is upset because plans for family, career, and timing are the most intimate of life's topics, and she believes these conversations should be protected, not performed. Neither Cenk nor Mahassine has moved toward anything final, those around them insist. There's no decision to separate, no divorce papers, no veiled ultimatums, just difficult conversations, the kind that come with loving someone while trying to honor two different paths. It's worth remembering that whenever whispers of separation surfaced in the past, Cenk Torun and Mahassine Merabet responded in their own measured way, assuring everyone that their bond rests on respect and trust. It's that restraint which has always defined their relationship in the public eye. Clear boundaries, rare statements, and an insistence that the world doesn't need a play-by-play. The question now is whether this latest storm is yet another gust of sensationalism or a sign that they're truly navigating a particularly trying chapter. For the moment, neither has stepped forward with an official statement. If anything, the expectation is that a quiet photo together, a small gesture, or a short shared note would do more to steady the conversation than any lengthy interview. While the rumors circle, old interviews are being dredged up and dissected as if they hold coded answers. Clips of Cenk talking about the weight of family and the comfort he finds in tradition are being cued alongside the current gossip, as if sentiment and speculation can be spliced together to form certainty. At the same time, comments from Mahassine about guarding her private life and staying focused on work are resurfacing, sparking questions about whether her priorities have shifted. Or whether people are simply reading too much into carefully chosen words. The mirrors in this maze show whatever viewers bring with them. Some see a clash waiting to happen, others see a deliberate misreading of nuanced thoughts. The conversation online keeps circling back to the question of children, not because either of them has confirmed anything, but because it offers a dramatic hook. A portion of the audience argues that disagreements like this are normal, especially for two people balancing demanding careers, public expectations, and deeply personal timelines. Others, stirred up by bold headlines, treat the whispers like verdicts. There's also a chorus of voices reminding everyone that a couple's most intimate choices are not public property. Amid the noise, one thing is clear. Whether the story is true, exaggerated, or somewhere in between, the internet's appetite for speculation has little interest in nuance. Those who know the couple say that schedules have been a challenge. Cenk has been in and out of sets, juggling commitments that keep him moving between projects. Mahassine has traveled frequently as well, between shoots, rehearsals, and sponsorship appearances. From the outside, that kind of logistical juggling can look like emotional distance. But insiders insist that, despite the grind, there has been no move toward a final break. They admit that serious talks have taken place, about timing, about priorities, about what the next few years should look like, but they also stress that the gravity of the conversations has been blown out of proportion. In their view, the silence was strategic, a hope that if they refused to feed the story, it would starve on its own. So far, the opposite has happened. The truth is muddy because the optics keep shifting. A photo taken in the right place at the wrong moment can reinforce whatever narrative people have already chosen to believe. A quiet week online can seem like a sign of trouble when it might simply be a break. For Cenk and Mahassine, privacy has always been a compass. They have rarely rushed to explain themselves. And yet, that same privacy now fuels the very thing they want to avoid. Until they share something concrete, everything else will be stitched together from hints and absence. Another piece of the puzzle, one that observers keep citing, is their social media rhythm. There's been a noticeable lull in joint posts, a change that tabloids have gleefully labeled as a deliberate pullback. Not long ago, the occasional photo together, a casual cafe snapshot, a rap night smile, a candid moment at home, would pop up and quietly reassure everyone. Lately, the feed has leaned into the individual, behind-the-scenes glimpses from set, reflections on craft, routine day-in-the-life glimpses. The tabloids call it distance. Sources close to the couple call it intentional discretion. According to those sources, it was a mutual decision to keep their bond where it has always belonged, off-stage. In that same vein, people near Mahassine say she has confided to trusted friends that much of what's being said about her is simply untrue. She's uncomfortable watching conjecture about her beliefs, her goals, and her health spread like it's been confirmed. It's not that she refuses to talk about family, it's that she refuses to do it on a public stage. Likewise, people in Cenk's circle say he's voiced frustration over seeing his marriage interrogated through provocative headlines crafted to spark outrage and harvest clicks. He knows how easily a single line, lifted from a private conversation, can be twisted into a thesis. He also knows that refusing to engage can make the speculation grow louder before it fades away. Within the industry, the consensus among those who claim to have a window into the situation is that this season is less a breakup than a recalibration. They describe long, honest talks about what they each want from life, about how to protect a relationship in a world that never stops watching, about what it means to honor ambition without sacrificing intimacy. They speak of two people trying to align timelines without erasing individuality, a process that is messy even when no one is watching, more so when every whisper gets amplified. The divorce talk, they say, is a distortion of those difficult but necessary conversations, a dramatization of the ordinary friction that accompanies growth. Through all of this, friends who know them jointly repeat the same refrain. The connection between Cenk Torun and Mahassine Merabet is built on tenderness and respect. They are not eager to make declarations for the sake of public reassurance. If anything, their silence is evidence of the values that brought them together in the first place. But that silence is also a vacuum, and vacuums invite stories. Maybe it ends with a simple post, a quiet dinner photo, a shared laugh, a hand on a shoulder, that shifts the mood in an instant. Maybe it ends with a brief statement that clarifies just enough without giving away everything. For now, all anyone can do is watch, wait, and remember that real relationships rarely follow the scripts we write for them from afar. As we wrap up, one truth stands out in the middle of all the noise: Cenk and Mahassine still want their love to live away from microphones. Whether the coming days bring a candid appearance together or a carefully worded note, it will likely be enough to steady the speculation. Until then, the only certain thing is their insistence on drawing their own boundaries. We'll keep our eyes open and bring you whatever is real, and only when it's real. You've been watching Turkish series Stars. If you enjoyed spending this time with us, subscribe and share so you don't miss what comes next. We'll be here, ready to separate the whispers from the truth when the moment comes.